Okay, let's begin now. See, last class we were discussing about application, built on application, built on application. Where is this relation defined? Where is this relation defined? That's what we have just made an observation and we understood about it. And after built on application concept, I explained about organization structure. Organization structure is going to have organization, divisions and units. Unit is the one where business transactions gets initiated and processed. Organization division will supply the reusable components to the units. So today we are going to discuss about, I will open the document. Six zero six. So today we are going to discuss about, this is day 4. Okay, so we are going to discuss about today day 4 OOPS concepts, object oriented programming concepts. That's what we are going to look at and discuss about. Okay, see why we need to learn OOPS concepts while working with Pega. Pega is being developed by using Java for its business logic. Java is object oriented, means object oriented concepts we need here. We don't need the programming, but we need those concepts to be used here. If you want to use those concepts here, you need to know about those concepts. So first topic about object oriented programming is encapsulation. So object oriented programming system says that if you are designing anything, if you are developing any functional components, those functional components to be encapsulated into a single unit. Encapsulation means, let's say for example, we take a tablet. Okay, so a tablet contains what? Some chemical compositions. Not only one chemical, there can be different chemical components packed into a tablet. That package unit is called as encapsulated unit. So when it is encapsulated only, it will have a meaning. So if you take each individual component separately, then there is no use of it. So we have to combinedly use everything, right? Let's take an example, another example. Let's take laptop. So we have our laptop. So laptop is an encapsulated unit which has so many functional components. Like CPU, you take only CPU outside separately. Is that going to be useful? No. You take only hard disk separately outside. That may not be useful unless it has another device. Okay. And motherboard, okay, display screen and bus cables and so many different components, functional components packed together into a one encapsulated unit. What is it called as? Laptop. Without being as an encapsulated unit, there is no purpose it is going to serve. It is not going to serve any purpose without having as an encapsulated unit of laptop. So this is applicable for everything. Even a human also, we are encapsulated with so many different functional components. Okay, some functional organs are being encapsulated together into one body. That is encapsulated unit, right? Without that, there is no meaning. Without having encapsulated unit, there is no purpose. It will not serve any real purpose. So everything that we see in this world is encapsulated unit, which is going to provide or serve some purpose only when it is being as an encapsulated unit. Otherwise, it is not going to be useful. Make sense, everyone? Clear? So programming is also same thing. You are writing programs. Don't write simply just like that. Write the programs, encapsulate into one unit and give a meaningful name to that encapsulated unit. So we are human being. That's the name for this encapsulated unit. This is laptop. Laptop is the encapsulated unit name. Inside that there are so many functional components. Okay, and that is projector. This is TV. All these are encapsulated units with so many functional components. That's the main one is the outside what you are seeing. That's what you are calling it as, right? So you need to create an encapsulated unit structure where you can define attributes and values, attributes and functions, attributes and functions, or you may say functional components. There is no problem. So function. So encapsulation means it is a unit which contains attributes and functional components. That's encapsulated unit. It will have a name for sure. It will have name. Name will be there. This is a, see, please mute if you're talking to someone else. Kindly please mute if you're talking to others. From your end, you should be muting all the time. If you're trying to ask me anything, then say my name, Harsha, then I will be responding. Okay, I'll allow you to unmute. Okay, so this is clear, everyone, about encapsulation. Okay, you are creating anything, it should be encapsulated, correct? Actually, this encapsulation is in object-oriented programming as a concept only. That is a concept. Using this object-oriented programming system of concept, you can develop your programming language. I can develop one programming language by name some A, and that programming language I can apply the concepts of object-oriented programming system. My programming language utilize the concepts of object-oriented programming system. Now there is a programming language, you know all, Java. Java is object-oriented programming language. Why? It is been built based on object-oriented programming system concepts. So encapsulation is a concept. When you take this concept into your programming language, you are giving the name to it as class. What is the name you are giving? Class. What is the definition of class? Same. Class is a unit structure. Class is a unit structure, so which contains attributes and functional components. It will have a meaningful name. Okay, so it will be having a meaningful name. So example I will write down here, but I am not going to do any programming like this. Class, okay, car. What is the class? Car. And what are the attributes? Attributes are year number. That is one attribute. Okay, comma, what is that? Engine CC. This is one attribute. Okay, so, and what are the different functional components? Wheels. Okay, wheels is one functional component. And what else we have? Brake is a functional component. Then accelerator is another functional component. What else? What else we have? Functional component. Steering. All these are what? Functional components. See, all these functional components to work together. If it is not working together, overall the need we cannot achieve. So all these functional components will be working together to achieve the required business goal. So which one you execute? You execute class. Class will have some action being done on. So we'll be doing some action of execution on what? Class. Then the functional components inside class will get executed. And those are going to get executed and work together to achieve the required business goals. What does this attributes will do? This will control. Attributes are going to do what? It will control the entire behavior, right? So here, if you're going to put it on number 2 gear, then the speed will be less. If you take it to 5th gear, speed will be more. Okay, based on the engine CC also, the pickup will be decided. Okay, so these attributes are going to give the control over the execution. Everyone clear? So class is combination of attributes and functional components. So based on the attributes, overall controlling will be done. Functional components are going to do their job coordinatively working together. Ultimately, class will provide a behavior. Class will have some behavior overall. That is the actual business need. Understand, everyone clear? So in the object-oriented programming concepts, we have a concept called encapsulation. What do they say? Anything you are creating, encapsulate it. In the encapsulation unit, it should have attributes plus values. That encapsulation concept is being taken into programming languages of Java, C#, VB, CPP, and they named it as class. Class is nothing but the programming terminology for encapsulation concept. Okay, so class is a unit structure which contains attributes and functional components. It will be having a name. What do? We execute the class. We execute the class. It accepts specific input and provides or generates a specific output. Yes or no? Class, when you execute, it will take the specific input and generates a specific output. See, I have a laptop. So I am typing, means I am giving input to the laptop. Based on whatever the commands that I give to the laptop, it will provide some specific output to me. Clear, everyone? Let's take one example. Let's say, for example, okay, try to imagine this. I think you all know about it. Let's take a machine, a physical machine. One mechanical machine will take. Let's say a book manufacturing machine. Okay, means if you give paper to the machine, it will send an output of notebooks. Let's say notebooks. Okay. Now, what are the functional components in this bookmaking machine? Okay, let's take high level. Okay, there will be a tool for sizing the paper to mark the size of the paper, where to cut, and it will be moved forward. There will be another tool called cutting tool. It is going to cut at the respective marked place. It will be moved forward. This movement will be done by another tool. Yes or no? Another functional component will be making this paper move forward and all. After that, there will be another tool which is going to bind this paper by folding it. Bind it and then pinning. Okay, it will be stapled and then output will be dispensed as a notebook. Overall, different functional components working together. So what is the input for this class called bookmaking machine? Class bookmaking machine, these are the functional components working together. What is the input? Raw paper. Raw paper, you are going to give it as an input. What is the output? Notebook is the output. Overall, this is a class. It has a proper behavior. How this will be controlled? Okay, I have given raw paper. How many books you want? I need to mention the number. 50 books, that is one attribute. A4 size, that is another attribute. So 50 books of A4 size completed, it will stop. So who is controlling all this execution? Attributes are responsible for how the behavior should be controlled. Those have been done by attributes. Yes or no? So class will have attributes and functional components. All of these works together. Class, when executed, it is going to accept some input and generate some output. Exactly the same way, when you are working on Pega also, we need to create classes, but we don't write any coding. Okay, everything is form-based programming model. Everything in Pega is form-based programming model. That's what we have discussed. How to create, I will tell you. But you need to understand one thing by now. If we want to create something that should be created inside class, if you are creating attributes, if you are defining attributes, or you are creating functional components, where do you create? Inside a class. Everyone clear? Makes sense? That class we need to create. We are already done with application. Now I will tell you one point. See, already day before yesterday I told you application contains functionalities. Today I am saying classes contains functionalities. Yes or no? Which one is true? Both are true. I will tell you. See here. I'll just check for a diagram. Okay, if I open this diagram, let me see. Open with. See, application contains functionalities. That's what I told you day before yesterday. Today I am saying that class contains functionality. Which one is true? I'll tell you. Application actually contains classes. Application actually contains what? Classes. Class contains functionalities. That's the point. Okay. But initially on day one itself, you don't know about classes, right? That's why I did not mention that point. But ultimately, functionalities are there inside class, which is inside application, means functionalities are also there inside application. Yes, everyone clear? Online students, are you clear so far? Every one of you.
Yes, yes, Harsha.
Okay, so now the key point to understand is anything that you are creating that must be created inside class. Means before you create anything, first what is the structure you need to set up? Class. Class, open brace, close brace, that is coding, but here we don't do. Means that skeleton we need to set up. Inside skeleton, everything we have to put. Understand? Okay. Yeah, please mute. Once you are responded, you can mute back.
Harsha, can you repeat class once again?
I can repeat. Okay. But please make sure that you follow the examples mainly, diagrams, examples, and all. Okay. Class is a unit structure which contains attributes plus functionalities. Okay. You created one application, right? Inside that, how many classes you create? Is it one only or n number? How do you know n number to be created? Based on what reason you are saying n number you create? Explain me. You told n number, every one of you. That is correct. Why n number? Why not only one class and do everything?
Each component has a different classes. Like
See, for this, yes, go ahead. Each component has different classes.
for different functionalities.
Tell me in the real world. You need to think about, see, whenever you wanted to know something about technology, go into the real world, then only you will be learning. Otherwise, you cannot. Don't think about technology as technology alone. Okay. So my question is, why you need to have more than one class? Then anukunnara meeru? Okay. Why you need to have more than one class that you are going to create? Why not only one class? If I create only one class and do everything there, it will be executed, no problem. I can run my business. But why more number of classes?
Each product has a different name.
Yeah,
Each?
Harsha. For example, if you take the banking domain, also example of banking transaction. So we have multiple transaction like FD. We have some transaction for savings account. We have
Correct.
another
See here,
transaction.
correct.
So
See, you need to go to the real world. Real world, how the business setup. Entire business unit is one application. Okay. Inside that, there will be different departments, right? Each department has its own transactional processing. Yes or no? Each department's input is different. Each department's output is different. Let's say, take a bank as an application. Okay. Inside that, what are the different classes? Banking is one class. Only banking operations. And insurance can be there, insurance operations. Loans can be there, loans operation. This is how the setup will be done in reality, right? Same way you need those many classes in the application also while doing. Clear everyone? Each can be a separate implementation, and inside implementation you can have a number of classes. Deposit class, withdraw class, deposit transactions, withdraw transactions. Third party transfer, separate class. Different transaction we do there. Like that, insurance, personal insurance separate class, commercial insurance separate class, auto insurance separate class. Like that, we can take n number. Okay, don't get confused between application and classes. Application is old container. Inside that, one more container called class. Inside that, functionalities. Like this, I can have n number of different classes. For now, we understand like each department is one class. Inside application, each department is one class. I will draft it here. Hold on. See here. See, we have bank. Bank as a whole application. Inside that, we have a number of classes. Class, banking. What will be there here? Yeah, there can be like banking transactional processing. Simply I'm writing. Okay, will be done here. And what is another class? Class insurance. Insurance transactions will be processed here. And what else? Class loans. Like this, we can have a number, right? I will write down one more. Class verification. What does this department will do? Verification department will be there, yes or no? What does this department will do? What is the input for verification department? Maybe some documents. What is the output result? Verified success, verified failed, verification on hold for some reason. Anything can be. Okay. Progress completed, or maybe in progress, completed, success, completed, failed. It can be anything. So this is how many departments you have in your business. Those many classes I will create in the technology. Okay, while designing a business application for your business, understanding your business setup, I am going to create those many applications, frameworks, implementations. and inside each implementation, so many classes, framework or implementation. Clear everyone what is class and all? You know why you have so many classes created? Next topic in general is inheritance concept. What is the next topic? After inheritance is done, again I will come back to class and explain you types of classes. After inheritance is completed, again I will come back to class and explain you types of classes. Okay. See, let me go to end. See, inheritance is a concept in the object-oriented programming system. First of all, I'll tell you what is its purpose. See, let's go to real world. I told you in a business, we have a number of departments. Is there a need of communication between two different departments to complete the work? Will there be any such need? Means one class wants to talk to another class to supply something. Yes or no? That need is there. One department may have to supply some data from it to another department, taking that it will process, finally send a response back. Yes or no? Give a response back. In the departments here, what is that? Banking, loan, what else? Insurance. Okay, and there is another department. What is that? Which department is going to be a, okay, I will ask you one more question. Out of all these departments, which department can be a common department which can work for all other departments? Verification department, right? Verification department can be a common department. I'm placing it above, just simply like that. Verification is a class which is needed. Its features and functionalities needed for all other classes. At runtime, bank transaction going on, some transaction, verification required. We'll send the check to verification team. Okay, more amount is there. Verification team will manually make a phone call and take the confirmation from the customer, respond us back to proceed or not. In loan is processing, we have submitted employment documents as well as tax documents to verification department at the time of processing. And they are going to do some task of verifying completed success or not. That is part of transaction, yes or no? And similarly, insurance also same thing. Okay, so here there is a need of accessing the functional components of one class into another class. How can we achieve this? This can be achieved when we implement a concept called inheritance. When we implement a concept called inheritance. Inheritance is a relationship defined between two classes. Two classes where one class can access functionalities of another class. Which class can access which class functionalities? Two are there. Class 1 can access 2 or 2 can access 1. How? That is, when inheritance relation is defined, one class will be acting as parent class, whereas the other one acts as child class. Okay, let's go to real life. In real life also, parent and children will be there. Whatever the property that parent is holding, will that be accessible to child or not? Legally, it is possible. It is accessible. So, vice versa is not possible. Okay, now here I'll write. Child class can access the features or functionalities or attributes, anything. Features of parent class, but not vice versa. Understand everyone clear? Okay. So if two classes are there, see here. I will rewrite this. Class verification, I'll take it from here and I'll put it on the top just for better understand. Class verification. Under that, you have class banking inherits from verification. Inherits from where? Verification. This is what I have written. Similarly, while creating insurance, any functional components available here can be accessed here, because these three are said to be child classes. Is there any relation between banking, insurance, and loan among these three? Did we define anything? These are siblings, same level. These are same level. I have written here, right? These are same level classes. Each one will take individual transaction. For all these three, higher level is verification. Verification is a parent class of banking. Again, verification is a parent class of loan. Verification is a parent class of insurance. These three are three individual transaction classes. Understand clear everyone? Online students. Every one of you clear? So in order to access the functionalities from one class to another class, object-oriented programming system defines a concept called inheritance. Any programming language when implementing or utilizing, they will also implement or utilize with the same name as inheritance. Only encapsulation name is changed to class. But an inheritance class, inheritance name is inheritance only. Okay, in Java we use extend keyword, in .NET we use inheritance keyword, in Pega we use something else. Okay, so there is a need of, so when we set up application, next step is to create classes, one or more classes. There is a need of accessing the data from one class to another class. For that we need to implement the concept of inheritance. That means Pega rules process commander environment should have to provide all these features. It has provided, where it has provided we are going to see. Everyone clear about encapsulation class inheritance? Now I am going to tell you about types of classes. What is the next topic? Types of classes. Types of classes. There are two types of classes. One is abstract. First one is concrete.
Harsha, one
One is,
question.
yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah, sorry for
Go ahead.
so yeah, coming to the inheritance. Previously, last class we explained framework and implementation, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
can we consider framework as a parent class?
Parent. Framework application is a parent to implementation when it is related, right? They are also parent-child relation, but that is between applications. That is between applications. I will again tell you inheritance little bit more with respect to application after some time. Okay? That you can imagine or consider like same concept. Built on application means parent application. Child application is implementation. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Now you see there are two types of classes in the object-oriented programming system. One is abstract, another one is concrete. What is concrete class? Anyone tell me what is concrete class?
We can
But
create work objects.
not with respect to Pega terminology. General terminology of object-oriented programming. What is meant by concrete class?
Maybe something rigid,
Strong.
Strong
fixed,
and movable.
fixed or rigid.
Okay, I will tell you. Concrete class is the one. See, concrete or abstract, a class is a class which will have attributes plus functional components and you execute generally, correct? Concrete class, it will have attributes, functional components, and transaction can be initiated. Actually, this is called as instantiation. What is this called as? Executing transaction. See, if you have a transaction, there should be some starting triggering point, correct? Okay, the triggering point is concrete class. Concrete class is the place where that is a triggering point of transaction. Transaction gets initiated at concrete class, can be processed, can be closed finally here. Okay, then what about abstract? A class is a class, any class. Attributes will be there, functional components will be there. Transaction cannot. Transaction cannot be initiated. Cannot be initiated. This can supply functionalities during transaction processing. During transaction processing, it may involve or participate to supply some functional components or attributes. Now, verification, banking, loan, insurance. If you want a banking transaction to be done, which department is responsible for that? Banking department. Banking department has the ability to initiate the banking transactions. Yes or no? We go to banking department, we will give money so that we can deposit it. We will give a check so that we can withdraw money. We'll go to loan department and ask them to initiate the loan processing. They can initiate the loan transaction. Insurance department can initiate insurance transaction. Verification department cannot initiate any transaction. but it can participate during the transaction processing to complete the verification process by supplying some functional components. Yes or no? So out of all these four, which one you consider it as abstract, which one you consider it as concrete? By example, verification is abstract. Remaining all three, these three are concrete classes. Concrete classes. This is abstract and this is concrete. Usually, it's not a mandatory thing. Usually, abstract classes are at higher level or lower level. What do you think? Higher.
Higher
It has
level.
to supply something, right? Abstract will be there at usually at the higher level, supplying to the below concretes. Okay, supporting the transactional processing, but it cannot initiate any transaction. Yes or no? So you understand what is abstract class and what is concrete class? At the time of creating our application, we will be creating classes. How do you know whether you have to create abstract or concrete class? While you are creating, you are a developer, right? You should select the class as abstract or concrete. How do you know?
Whether transaction will be initiated or not.
Yes, based on the business requirement, based on the business requirement, based on the business structure, nature of the business, nature of the activity to be done. You need to understand the business. Based on that, you need to get an idea. Okay, I have to create abstract or I have to create concrete. That's how you need to. If you want to be a developer, good developer, you should know more about the business than technology. Technology 50%, okay, no problem. Business 50%, not okay. Business 99%, you know, not okay. 100% you should understand the requirement. You only understand 99%, 1% you make a mistake, $1 million loss. Yes or no? So business requirement you understand 100%, then only you can be a good developer. Otherwise, no. So you always have to fully focus on always imagining about the real world. Some business you take bank, you are clear about banking processing and all. Imagine bank, place bank in your mind. Insurance processing you are comfortable with. Imagination while learning technology. Place the insurance in your mind. Insurance processing. Always think about the real world setup. Then learn one topic in technology. Try to see where it fits in the real world. That's what learning the programming. Whether Pega or Salesforce or Java or Python, anything same way you have to learn. Okay, reality what is needed. Using which technical aspect I can implement that real world business requirement. If you're able to understand, that's what you are a technical person. You learn technology, you learn 100 programs, 100 programs out of 100, 10 programs I have given in exam. You have written all 10 programs perfectly, you got 100 out of 100 marks. It doesn't mean that you are a techie. It's not. You know only copy pasting. When you hear a new requirement, which you did not learn this 100, 101 program you are being given with. That program you are getting ideas of how to implement. Then you are a technical person. Same way, when you are hearing about every day one new requirement you will get or every day same requirement you will get in the projects. You are in project 1, every day you will get new requirement. You are in project 2, every day you will get new requirements. So then if you are a kind of person, only you can work on a requirement which you have done in the past. Same program I will learn, I will write in the exam. It doesn't work out. Okay, same requirement whatever that you are learning here, if you are expecting the same to be implemented, doesn't work out. I mean to say copy paste work never helps you. After you do copy paste as a practice, one learning path, one learning example, you need to think about one real world requirement, anything else on the same topic which you can implement. Try it by your own, then you will become skillful. Otherwise, even if you learn for 1 year, you will be there at the same place where you are. Clear everyone? Are you getting the point what I am saying? Online student, all of you should come up with new ideas of understanding the real world business. Understand the technology what you are learning. Where does it fit in this particular business sector? Which requirement I can implement? If you are able to match these two and implement, that means you are learning 100% out of the technology. Okay, you can crack any interview, you can work in any project, every day new requirement you will implement for sure. Okay, so let's go ahead now.
Harsha, I just have a
I
doubt.
have a question now. Let's go ahead. What is the question?
Yeah, I just didn't understand how verification came into abstract class. Like at
See,
last,
I am
eventually it
considering
goes
verification
there only.
as Yes, I am considering verification as a department which involves in the transaction processing of banking, loan, insurance to provide verification facility. It doesn't have its own transaction initiation place. I'm considering like that. And verification as a common department, I'm considering it as which supplies something for these three transactions, but it is not going to create a loan transaction. See, are you going to are you going to ask a bank to create a verification transaction for you? Is it necessary? Is there any need of creating only verification transaction without either banking, loan or insurance? No, right? Are you clear?
Yeah, yeah, okay, makes sense.
Okay, now you see. I will draw a diagram. Okay. What I told you about abstract concrete class, same I am going to draw. Like a Venn diagram, I am going to draw it as a Venn diagram. Okay. Okay, here you go. This is concrete class. What is this? Concrete class means what you can do? Attributes will be there. I'm sorry. Attributes will be there. Functional components will be there. Okay. Transaction can be initiated, executed. And there is another class called abstract. There is another class called abstract. This is abstract class. What is this one? This is abstract class. Abstract class also has attributes plus functions. If I have written inside both, that means that is applicable for both. Here transaction can be initiated. Transaction can be initiated, comma, processed and then closed. In the processing it may involve, it may supply something. Okay. Now you tell me one thing. Looking at this diagram, what we can understand is abstract class is a subset of concrete class. Yes or no? Abstract class is a subset of concrete class. When you are implementing your business needs, it is not mandatory to have abstract class. Not mandatory. Means I have 10 classes, all 10 are concrete. No abstract at all in my application. My business will run pretty much fine without any issues. Abstract class is optional to have. But without concrete class, your business application doesn't have any meaning. Yes or no? An application must have at least one concrete class. It is optional that you may or may not have abstract because abstract is subset of concrete. Abstract. See, I did not create any abstract. All are concrete. Think about it and tell me whether I will be able to run my business successfully or not. Yes. I do not have any concrete. I have few classes, those are all abstract. I don't have any concrete at all. Then is it possible to run the business? No. That means abstract is optional or not. Without abstract, application can exist or not. Practically can exist or not. Practically can exist. Then why abstract classes are introduced in the technology? Practically an application can exist means concrete is superset of abstract. Means if you leave about abstract, abstract features are also there with concrete. Yes or no? Yes or no? Concrete is more than abstract. So without having at least one abstract, my application can exist, possible. Java, C#, anywhere you go, it is possible. Then why technology developers have implemented abstract classes also? What is the reason? I am asking you a question.
Reusability. For reusability.
So reusability, I said it will be reusable. I said it for abstract. I did not say it for concrete. Doesn't mean concrete cannot be reusable. Concrete can be, simply speaking, a class can be reusable. Whether it is abstract or concrete, class can be reusable. Yes, come on.
What am I saying? So concrete classes to have a relation between each other, maybe we are using abstract class for that reason?
We can have relation between concrete to concrete, abstract to concrete, concrete to abstract, anyhow. Class to class relation I told. Okay. That class may be concrete or abstract. No matter. Okay. That's what. I'm giving you a point. Without even one abstract class, application can exist. It will run fine without issues. Then why abstract need in technology?
Maybe because the modification can be easier later.
No, it's not like that. See, a class is a class. You need to understand. Before you think about abstract concrete,
abstract class.
take the term called class. Class is a class everywhere. Only one feature missing. So you created one concrete class, right? remove one feature from the concrete. What feature? Transaction initiation ability. You remove this
Okay.
feature, that will become what? Abstract. Now think about it and tell me. Yes.
Abstract class will make the concrete class to be business delivered fastly.
Who told that? No, that's not
For
true.
grouping the input data together, is it the case?
See, when I
Uh,
tell you without even having one abstract, it is possible to run application means whatever abstract does can be compensated by concrete also. Yes or no? Compensated or not? Because it is a superset, right? Then why do you have abstract class? This is the reason why I told you yesterday when I was
Harsha,
mentioning about OOPS
can,
concepts. You might be already studied this in your college, maybe any other training institutes, anywhere. I will prove that you do not have a clear picture of what is abstract, what is concrete, OOPS concept. This is the reason why I told you.
uh,
Now I'm asking
Harsha,
question, you are trying, right?
can I tell you?
Go ahead. Tell me what is that?
So I think like if we take an example of booking of Tatkal ticket, right? So we do not book the tickets by our end. So where they will book the tickets by I mean the users will book the ticket by their
Okay.
end. So
Your
if we
way of
create the
your
abstract
example
class,
may be not that clear, but whatever you are
mhm.
getting the point is clear. Whatever the point
Oh,
you got
so
is
if they are,
clear.
yeah,
I will tell you. The same
yeah,
whatever she told, I'll tell you the other way around.
yeah.
See, this is the reason why I am saying all the time, again and again. If you look at technology as a technology, you can never learn, you can never understand. Take the technology into real world and match the technology with reality. Whatever present in reality should be done by technology. Then only that is said to be a useful technology. Otherwise not. Now let's go to the example. Whatever she told, I am explaining the same. These are 4 classes, right? Imagine verification also being a concrete class. I know I have a clear idea about business verification. I don't want to initiate the transaction. I'm using properly. I am not initiating transaction here, even though it is concrete. I have knowledge. I am the setup owner. Okay. I am not initiating any transaction. But making verification as a concrete, will I be able to initiate the transaction there? If not me, someone else come and initiate the transaction from verification department. Tomorrow some new employee join. Because it is concrete, he is seeing that button. Start transaction, he is starting the transaction. Yes or no? Possible or not possible? If it is a concrete class, transaction initiation ability it will get. But in the real business setup, verification should be having any ability of creating transaction or not. It should have or it should not have. It shouldn't have. The real business what it needs is they want to set up one department called verification. It should not have any capability of initiating the business transaction. Then only it is a perfect business structure. Otherwise not. Right? Then how do you compensate this in the technology? In the technology, I need a class where the transaction should never be initiated, which will compensate my verification department. Then first they come up with concrete, then they removed the feature of initiating the transaction. They created it, they named it as abstract class. Understand clear everyone? Now you understand the need of abstract class, why we need an abstract in technology. Without even having at least one abstract, if I am knowledgeable, everything I do on my own mind control, I can do it, creating it as a concrete. It is you are doing. Okay, so tomorrow some new employee will come, right? What he will do in the concrete class, he will write the coding related to creating object, initiating the transaction and all. It will work fine. That is not going to be matching with the real world business. It is violating. Then that ability itself should not be there. So then initially they created concrete, they removed one feature from it. What is the feature they removed? Abstract and initiating transaction feature. They named it as abstract type. That is matching with abstract departments in the real world business. So now your technology syncs with real world. Clear everyone? Online students, are you clear? ఈ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అర్థం కాలేదా? ఏం అర్థం కాలేదో చెప్పండి. ఏం అర్థం కాలేదో చెప్పండి. విన్నారు కదా చాలా సేపటి నుంచి. ఎక్కడ కన్ఫ్యూజన్? వేర్ ఇస్ ద కన్ఫ్యూజన్? What did you understand about verification? See, when you ask me any doubt to repeat, You want me to repeat from the beginning? You have some doubt somewhere you did not understand, or you want me to clarify that? There are two ways. You are asking me to from the beginning, you did not listen to the class. Simple. Everything cannot be unclear. There should be some point where it is unclear. You need to tell me that. Okay, tell me what is unclear here. లేవా ఇక్కడ అసలు కీస్ వేయలేదా నేను? చూడు, బైక్ కీస్ ఉన్నాయి.
Asha, I'm having a doubt.
Yes, go ahead. No,
Yeah,
wait,
Asha.
1 minute. చెప్పండి, where is the point?
Verification is overall needed for bank loan. So the platform you are saying abstract is if they know abstract is not there, they can process it. Right?
Yes, see what I'm saying here is verification is common class as per the abstract class mechanism, inheritance mechanism and all. I told verification, instead of creating abstract, I will create it as a concrete. Still my business will work. Yes or no? It will process as it is or not? Next, it will process because I know, I have knowledge. I want to use verification for as a common class. I don't initiate transaction in verification. I have knowledge. Tomorrow you will be joining my business. Do you have knowledge of that? You may not have. You will start initiating, yes or no? If you start initiating, that is violating the actual real setup of the business. Violating or not? So your setup in the technology is wrong. If you make it as a concrete, it is being wrong when someone violates it. Okay, we cannot guess, right, who is going to do what here. So better you have it as an abstract only. That's the reason why, to match with the real world, abstract classes have been introduced into the technology.
So however we have to
Could you explain it with an example or something?
but not
The
in
same
abstract type. Sorry, not in the concrete type. We should create it as abstract type.
Yes. See, we should create verification as abstract only. I am saying why we should create it as abstract, because this is the place where a transaction triggering point should not be possible. This should not be a transaction triggering point. How you make it should not be a triggering point? By making it as abstract only. Why do you want to make it should not be a triggering point of transaction? Because I want to match the real world setup. Understand? If you are not matching real world setup, means your application is not going to function properly. You'll get so much of loss will be there for the business. Some female
Asha.
resource was
So
trying to ask a question. Yes, go ahead.
So in the as you said, in the real world, so if this verification has been created as an abstract class, so what is the supply of data, or what is the purpose
It will supply.
if we have created, what is the
Verification
purpose?
is going to participate during the transaction by supplying whatever the functional components it has. Okay, verification department has the different functional components, like going somewhere and verifying and the parameters matching and all that will supply. It's part of transaction somewhere in between. Okay, it will supply all that, but it will never be involved in creating the transaction. Okay, see, you will be able to understand only when you are able to imagine in the real world. Otherwise you cannot understand technology. Learning technology by syntaxes is not correct, not the right way. Someone is asking, explain with another example. So this example, are you clear or not?
I'm just asking like the verification part in abstract with an example.
What example?
Like real life. Suppose if while in
See,
real life.
in the real world, do you know about loan application? You will apply for loan. You go to a bank, you will apply for loan, correct?
Yes.
In a bank, there are so many departments, right? Which department you will go and meet? Loan department. Agent will be there. Okay, imagine physically you stepped into a bank. There is one room for loan department, one cabin. There you have submitted all your documents. They will start initiating the transaction, yes or no? They have started triggered your transaction, data entry, everything is done. It is being processed for next level. Next level is these documents have to be verified. There is another cabin, that is where 4 people are sitting. they will do the task of verification only. Where it will come from? Either loan department it will come from, or they may receive insurance document. Based on the task that they receive, whatever that they have to do, verification tasks and all, they will complete and hand over it back to loan department. Where it is starting, there itself it will close. Yes or no? Wherever it starts, finally there it should be, file should be closed. That's what concrete. Transaction initiated, processed, finally it came back and closed. In between, what is abstract doing verification? It is supplying some tasks to be done which are needed during the processing. During the processing, what is needed? They want to verify the documents, mark some parameters. They have to finally give a result of saying that successfully done, or whatever that is there, task executed. Task is giving positive result or negative result, they will mention the same and give it back to loan department. Loan department will take decision accordingly. Yes or no? Verification is involved in the processing, but nowhere it is initiating the transaction. Okay?
Okay.
Clear? See, it is very simple to understand when you go to real world. Without real world, you cannot understand. See, it's not that we will be learning like we don't create a transaction, abstract class cannot be instantiated, abstract class cannot be instantiated. The statements, if we read from the textbook only for the exam for getting 2 out of 2 marks, there is no use. There will not be any use. You really have an idea about what is meant by that cannot be instantiated in the real world. Why cannot be instantiated? There is a class which can instantiate. Even I can use the same class without instantiating. Then again, why we have a class which has no ability to instantiate the transaction? The reasons and all you need to know about. Then only you are learning it properly. Okay, but we don't have that much time during BTech. I know we are very busy. Okay.
So can we say
So
while sending money in PhonePe, the message after we send the money it comes, right? Payment successful. That could be an abstract class.
SMS, you're saying. SMS can be
Yeah,
abstract class that will be utilized by transferring money, recharge. Okay, SMS functionality you created in one abstract class. Either you send the money or you receive the money, two different transactions. Send money is one class, receive money is another class, recharge is another class. Okay, any transaction done, one common class will be called for SMS. SMS will be sent to the customer. Simple example also you can. Okay, but in that SMS class you will never initiate transaction. Yes or no? Okay. Okay, thank you. That's it for now. I will continue remaining things tomorrow. Do you have any questions? Ask me one by one. Hold on, I'll tell you. See, whatever that I have explained you so far, if you are thinking about so many classes, so many different abstracts, so many different concrete, you will forget about everything. So do not make it too complex at the initial stage of learning. Make it so simple with 2 departments of concrete, 1 department abstract, clear. 10 departments concrete, 5 abstract you are taking, everything will be gone. Okay, so slowly one by one. Today you understand very clear, I know, but after 4 days you will forget about it. Okay, you need to revise it again. You understand the class, I know, you are gem. Okay, but after the session, don't throw away your books. Take all these notes, documents, write your own notes of important key points. Draw your own diagrams, which is understandable to your mind. It will take half an hour or 1 hour. Within that learning only, as part of it, you draw the diagrams, write the key points in your notes, key points of your learning, summary points, so that revision will be easy. Okay, you can revise our theory documents video anytime, but what will be there in your hand when you are revising, where you should know about what topic is written where clearly, exactly. If you are writing topic by topic in a notes, not everything, again don't take that theory document, draft everything in notebook, there is no use. Write your understanding summary points in your notes and draw your own diagrams, draw your own examples, one new example your own. You will never forget it. You will forget here and there 10%. Once you revise, 2 times you revise, you will never forget for lifetime. Okay, so that's the way to learn for anyone, any subject, anywhere. Okay, no one can remember everything on a single shot. If you can remember on a single shot, you should have become IAS officer. Why you are here? Right? I should have become IAS officer. Why I am here teaching? Okay, even IAS officers also they cannot remember. They are doing practice. again and again, morning 6 o'clock to night 12 o'clock. That's why they become IAS officers. Revision. More understanding. Remember. That is again a practice. Okay. So that is going to make you perfect. Please understand and remember. Yes. Anyone has any questions? Doubts?
Harsha, sir, one doubt.
Yes, please.
Sir, in previous class you explained about organization structure.
Yes.
Example, a group and a showroom.
Yes. Now we can match that structure here. Yes. Thank you for reminding. Organization structure you want me to match?
Yeah, means that is abstract, sir. Top one.
See, you have to tell me. Organization structure, I told you, right? Organization division will supply. Unit is the one where transaction will get initiated. Unit is now concrete or abstract? Concrete. Organization division?
I think both are
abstract. Organization is abstract. Division is abstract. Thank you for getting this point. Unit is concrete. Subunit? Subunit? Definitely concrete.
Concrete.
Yeah, continue. Do you have any other question?
Yeah, that's all, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks for reminding this. Any other questions anyone has?
Yes. Yesterday you have said for an application there will be a built-on application, right? So can there be more than one built-on applications for one application, possible. Like 3 to 4?
That's what yesterday someone was
mentioning. In which scenario is it possible?
At the built-on application, you have more than one application. Means sometimes you want to use it from this application, sometimes you want to use it from application 2. We don't know. I cannot tell you the scenario now immediately, but I can tell you sometime later. But feature is there. An application can have more than one built-on application or no built-on application. That is also possible. Okay, that is there. Okay, we can think about some business later. Okay, feature is there.
No built-on application means even Pega rules also not a
Pega rules application doesn't have any built-on application, right? The bottom application will not have any built-on. That will be the ultimate bottom. Correct? Next.
Do we have abstract classes in Pega rules?
Yes. See, Pega has been built based on core Java. I mean, like Java concepts, which means that it should have been using object-oriented programming concepts. All these concepts, whatever I'm explaining, if you are clear about the concept, you should get the idea based on the requirement where to create. We have classes in Pega. We don't manually code it. It will be a form-based programming model where you are creating a class. For example, you should get an idea. I have to create abstract or concrete. How do you know that? Based on requirement and understanding nature of the business. You created something. We have one abstract, one concrete. I have given you one requirement. As part of the requirement, you have to create a screen. Now you have a choice, abstract class or concrete class, where to create. How do you know? Based on its nature of business only. That's why I'm telling all the time. Business you are clear about, then technology you can play with. You don't know business, nothing can be done in the technology. Clear, everyone?
Yeah, as you say that we can create a bank credit card, and that can be supplied to other banks also, right? So what we created should
framework.
Be
what is framework?
Yeah. The framework should be abstract.
See, for applications there is no abstract concrete. Did I say anything about application abstract concrete? If you want to imagine built-on application as parent application, implementation application as child, you are free to imagine like that. But there is nothing like abstract application, concrete application. There is nothing like that. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any application is an application which may have classes, which may have concrete plus abstract, where we can do the execution. Application, there is nothing like abstract. Application you need to understand, like it is just one roof for all classes. Class is a roof for functionalities. Okay. Executable components are application or classes? Which one has the execution feature? Class or application? Class. Application is a stable roof. Okay, one box. Inside that, classes. Those are the executable components. Inside that, functionalities gets run when we execute the class. Okay. Executables are not bank. Executables are departments. Departments are executable. Bank is a setup to hold all these departments. Executable things are departments. Each department may have different tasks to be done. Those tasks are functional components, works together. Okay, next, if you're good to go ahead, I will add this document now. Where is it?
Harsha, I have a doubt related to inheritance topic.
Go ahead.
Can you
Inheritance
just...
generally, I did not tell you in Pega. Generally, I explained so far. Tomorrow, I will take it in Pega.
Yes, it is actually related to the example that I have.
Yes,
Can you please scroll back to the definition that you wrote?
Inheritance is a concept where it is a relation defined between class 1 and class 2. One is going to act as a parent, another one is going to act as a child. Class A, class B. But while class B, I mentioned, inherits from A. Then class B is child, class A is parent. Class B can access the functionalities of class A, but not vice versa. Okay.
So here we took an example of verification.
Yes.
Let's say an example, if we want to take a loan and get it approved, yes. So they will check our bank accounts and bank funds, which will include the checking account and the saving accounts.
Yes.
So there would be relation between more than one classes. That is the loan with the bank and loan with the verification.
Yes.
So
correct.
like there will be more linking. So would it still be considered as an inheritance?
That
Because
is inheritance only. We will be learning that. As of now, what I told you is one level. I did not tell you multiple levels how you get, multiple class how you will get. I did not explain. That I will explain clearly while we are discussing about inheritance in Pega, how you will get from more than one. Okay, so that I will tell you. Whatever the requirement you told is correct.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oops, concepts, inheritance and purpose. You need to go through it tomorrow actually. Okay. This document I'm attaching now, you don't understand Pega inheritances. Normally, generally, I told you what is inheritance. First, you can tell me this. If I ask you, what is the purpose of inheritance? In technology, why do we need inheritance concept? What is the reason we need this inheritance concept being implemented? To utilize the functional components or to access the functional components of one class into another class, we need this inheritance concept. Why are you going to get this need? Why do I have to access from one class to another class? Why not I define in the same class? Don't tell me the textbook sentences. Tell me in the real world. In the reality, there will be a need of accessing the features of one department, may have to supply some functionalities to another department in order to process the business transactions. That is the reason why technology also should support. That's why we will have one class of functional components applied to another class. That's why inheritance exists. So don't tell me like reusability, extendability and all. We know that. We also got 2 out of 2 marks like you. Okay. Yeah, you can wind up for today. We will continue tomorrow.